None. None of that. Did not fade, did not lift. No creasing. It literally just feels like skin. Doesn't feel like a damn thing is on my face. I can't get over it.
Okay. Drop that. Yeah. Feel the funk, y'all. Yeah. Feel the funk, y'all. Yeah. You lay back in the cut. What's up? What's up?
Hello, my doves. Welcome back to Afrodite by Olympia. My name's Olympia and I love doing makeup on YouTube for different skin tones. But today's video, as you can see, is we're going to be doing a wear test on this is the Dr. Gio Ultra 7 Brightening Foundation Cushion with SPF 50 and PA+++. So I stumbled across this brand on Instagram. I saw this cute little video about it and I was like, wait, what? A cushion foundation for deep skin tones? I don't have anything in my collection that even can be classified as cushion. Normally cushion foundations are light skin tones to maybe medium, but to find a brand that exclusively does like deeper skin tones, I was floored. I've actually been sitting on this foundation for about 6 months, just waiting to film it. So this will be a first impressions. I wish it was more like a in-depth type of review in terms of like, you know, how it wore after, you know, wearing it a couple more times. But moving back into doing full-time YouTubing, I will definitely do like once a month, like 4 weeks later, I'll do like a snap review on previous items that I have reviewed for you guys for the first impressions, so that it's a bit more comprehensive. I've got 2 shades for you guys today. I've got the shade Funmi and the shade Bisi. Now, I'm not sure if they have specific names, like as in like meanings behind these names. Alright, so I'm on the Dr. Gio website. So according to their website, this is a moisturizing, brightening, and anti-aging cushion foundation. It's packed full with moisturizing agents. Dr. Gio's cosmetic formula covers blemishes while staying lightweight. It's buildable for dewy but never cakey looking skin. It's supposed to be long lasting, which allows for a flawless look for up to 48 hours. That's a long time. You can only purchase on pre-order. Yeah, $35 US, or $34.99 USD. So if you're in Australia or elsewhere, do your own conversions because they change all the dang time. I haven't even swatched these either yet. So let's swatch them first and show you the shades before we do anything. I'm going to start with the number 4. Ooh, why was that so fun? I don't even know. Anyway, so little sponge. Might turn down my brightness. That's a bit better. It was a bit overly bright. So there's a little sponge. It has a different texture from one side to the other. You open up the little lid and you just peel off. Right, so there it is there. Load her up. Just trying to get enough on my finger. Just gonna pop a swatch. I don't know if you guys can see that shade. Looks like this is made in Korea, which makes sense because they're like the queens of cushion foundations. Look, it looks a little grey on me. I don't know. I'm not sure about the shade. The second one is Bisi. Looks a little dark and red. I'm not sure. Let me... Alright. We're gonna Before we do this wear test, we are going to actually put both shades on and then I'll show you a side to side comparison. Alright, so this is my face without anything. I'm not even going to do primer just yet because we're not starting the wear test. I just want to see the shades like all over the face to determine whether it works for me. I'll pop up on the screen here my usual foundation shades, just so you know that hasn't changed at all. They're still my shades. They're still the shades that I use. We're going to start off with Funmi, and I'm just going to use the actual applicator, load her up, and I'm just going to pat, pat, pat. Okay, skin's calmed down. We're going to try the second shade, Bisi, which I think is probably going to be a better fit for me, but it might also be too dark. So, we'll see. Alright. I think it's, compared to my chest, it's definitely too dark. On my secondary camera, it's not looking as bad, but I don't know. I'm not sure, like, what to make of it, because, child. What are we thinking? Let me know in the comments what you think is the better shade. Funmi or Bisi? I think Bisi is sitting better. It's the undertones a lot better. I think Funmi, the undertones a little bit more pulling almost grey. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I think this one I can get away with. Like, the more that settles into the skin and then I apply all the rest of my makeup, I think it will kind of work well. But I'm going to go ahead and remove this because we are going to do a wear test. And I want to test it out with my usual, what has become my usual skin prep. You've kind of seen the application now with the sponge that it comes with. Can't say that I'm not really impressed with the application tool. So I'm actually going to use a sponge and a brush. Going in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is my usual pre-makeup moisturizer. Skin is it just gives it that that hit of moisturization. Ugh. Which shade. This is why I need to do, in a month's time, in 4 weeks time, a re-review of the previous month's reviewed products, because I can't tell you right now which shade is for me. I have to play around with it. I want to see what it looks like with other products and whatnot, but I'm going to go with the darker one, Bisi, for today. Not going to use the sponge that it came with. I'm picking Bisi mostly because the undertones seem to be a bit more golden. And golden undertones is basically me. This is the Koyudo. I can't remember the name. I'll pop it in the description if you want specific details on this brush. So going straight in.
Yeah.
But she's not bad. She's not bad, you know. Like, I'm not mad at it. Let me know what you think, guys. I honestly want your opinion on this because trying a foot cushion foundation for the first time, I literally have nothing else to compare this to. I don't know if you understand the magnitude of that. I don't have another formula like this in my collection. I've never used a cushion foundation ever. So I don't know what is supposed to happen. I do know to some extent what the end result of foundation is supposed to look like. But I don't know with cushion, like I don't know what to expect, if that makes sense. In terms of coverage, I feel like it's very, very light. It's evening as opposed to covering. And I almost want to say muddy, but I don't think that's the correct term, and I don't want to shoot this down just yet. So there's that. Okay. Let's do the other side. I've got my sponge. I want to see how it compares to the applicator that it comes with. Just getting an even coating. Oh yeah. Definitely a sponge. It's quicker. Way more even. This side still feels a bit uneven. That application was way more flawless, way more easier. Picked up product really, really well. Go on lightly on the other side with the sponge, just to even that out again. That looks really good. It looks really fresh. My face does look darker because this is a darker tone. I don't think it's my tone, my skin tone. It's too dark for sure. Like just looking at my B-roll and this camera, it's definitely not, it's not right. So there is that. But that's okay. We are going to start the wear test. It's 5:54 p.m. We'll come back at midnight and that will be my 6 hours. So we're going to start it now. We're starting the wear test. I will go ahead and do the usual pan. Alright. I've been fiddling around with other things, like technical things with my camera and whatnot, so it's actually been about half an hour since I put this on, so it's about 6:30 now. And I've noticed that it's actually dried down. No transfer in my hands. I've not powdered or anything, so that's actually interesting. We're going to go ahead now and do the rest of my face. I'm actually doing a bronzer review and an eyeshadow palette review at the same time, so I will come back probably with everything on my face for the first like the halfway point, which will be 3 hours. And then I'll come back at the end after that for the final 6 hour review, and then we can discuss the foundation then. So does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense. Okay, let me put the rest of my face on. hours have gone by. We have 3 more hours to go, and then I'll come back and do my final review. Listen, sneak peek. She's fire. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that because we have some discussions later on. So stay tuned. I'll be back at the 6-hour mark, and we can check everything. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, we have done a full 6 hours, a little bit more than that actually. It's midnight, so I've done about 6.5 hours of this wear test. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm actually kind of impressed. So we're gonna go ahead and start the review portion of this video. If you're new to my channel and you've not seen my foundation reviews before, I haven't done one in a while. It's been a long time since I've done a foundation review. These videos tend to not do as well, but I love doing them, so it is what it is. Basically, with this wear test and the review portion is I'm going to give this foundation a score from A through A, B, C, D, or F, which is a fail. And it's based on a number of things. It's based on a transfer test, oil control test, because I tend to have oily combination skin, kind of oily in the T-zone, dry everywhere else, dry under the eyes, that kind of thing. Performance. Performance will include things like how well does it wear, is there any pilling, patchiness, sponge versus brush, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to give it a score. So we will get into it. First thing is transfer test. You guys would have seen earlier that it's set down without me having to use any powder. I've not used any powder on my face to set my face other than my under eye to set my concealer. I did have concealer, I did reverse conceal along my cheeks and I set that, but the actual foundation itself was not set with anything. Now that, my friends, is amazing. I don't know if I have any other foundation that has the same thing. Like, I don't know of any foundation in my collection where it's self-setting. Not I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe the Australis one might be, but please don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if this is a normal function or a normal expectation of cushion foundations. Please let me know in the comments down below. I really would like to know whether all cushion foundations are self-setting, because if they are, we dark-skinned girls have been missing out. Like, for real, for real. And that kind of makes me upset. It makes me angry to think that, especially if you've got oily skin tones and things like that, this could have been an option for you, but it's not because it doesn't come in your shade. Oh, I will completely die. Anyway, the transfer test is a big fat A positive, like A+. Next is oil control. So oil control, I'm going to use this Shiseido blotting sheet. Now, normally, my scale, if I remember correctly, the less sheets required to blot my face and remove oil, the better the oil control. If I have to use less than 1 sheet, oil control is A+. If I have to use 2 sheets, then that's a B, and it, you know, it goes down from there. 3 sheets, a C, and you can kind of get the trend there. So I'm going to go ahead and blot. In terms of oil, that's like probably half a sheet, really. Face is basically completely back to normal. Like, honestly, wow. Okay, next part of the review is performance. Okay, so how did the foundation apply? It applied, in my opinion, quite patchy with the brush. I was a bit surprised. I did use my Koyudo brush and it's so soft. Normally this gives an even coverage. I was dabbing as opposed to swiping. This is probably supposed to be used as a swiping brush, so that could have been affected the use. I used this when I was testing which shade to use. I did show you guys earlier a comparison of the full face of both shades because I had the two shades. My shade I'm currently using, just as a reminder, is the shade Bisi. I've got Bisi on my face, not Funmi, just so you know. But yes, I did test out with the brush, and I don't like how it applies to the brush. I think the built-in sponge, or the sponge that it comes with, I think it collects too much product and applies too much product on the face, so it builds really quickly, like too quickly with the sponge. So I'm not a huge fan of the sponge. Well, the sponge that it came with. I think the best way to apply this foundation is with your normal beauty sponge. I used this side of my face and I went ahead and smoothed over the right side of my face, and the application was absolutely just flawless. There was no skipping, there was no unevenness. It just looked so skin-like. So I would definitely go with a beauty sponge if you're going to use this foundation for application. Yes, very easy to blend. I found that going over with a sponge made it very easy. How did it work with other products? So with my concealer, I had no issues blending my concealer out on top of it. Didn't peel or collect or anything like that. I did use a bronzer on my face. I did do a bronzer review. This is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess bronzer in the shade 4. If you want to see how that went, it's just you click on the link up there, or down, I'll link it down below. It feels like there's nothing on my face right now. Like I can feel my lipstick more than I can feel anything else on my face. Like feels lightweight, feels like there's nothing on my face. Feels so comfortable, like so comfortable. I can't even describe how comfortable it feels. I think it's the most comfortable feeling foundation I've ever worn. I'm going to test out the other colour and see if I can't make that work for me. I can make this one work because my face is a little bit darker, but I got to use a lot of a lighter concealer to kind of balance out the tones. Any creasing, fading, separating, lifting. Just check around my nose. No lifting there. No lifting there. No fading, like nothing's fading. It literally looks exactly the same. I don't see any change whatsoever. I mean, it's kind of synced into the skin more, but this is my skin. Like it doesn't, it's fine. It looks really good considering other foundations that I've tried. So overall, I would give this foundation an A+. It has my seal of approval. I love it. But yeah, I really like this. I really like this foundation a lot. I think Dr. Gio are doing something fantastic. I want to give this brand a bit more of a spotlight. I think every dark girl should know about this brand and should at least try it because it's a cushion foundation for deeper skin tones. Like, even just saying those words, it's like, what? Because it does not happen for us. So I feel like we need to give them their flowers, give them all the snaps, because they're doing some things over here. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload. And your girl is back. She's back in the game. She's back on the tube. Alright, guys, I missed you all so much. I'm so glad to be back. Let me know what videos you want me to do, something that you've seen that you thought, oh, Ollie should, I should have, looked into it, or if it's well within my power, I will obviously try and do so. But yeah, if there's anything, just let me know and I will look into it. There's a couple of things that I want to do that my subscribers have let me know and commented about. Yeah, so some exciting stuff happening on this channel. I will see you guys on the next video. I love you all, my doves. Bye.